This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
There's a difference, and I suppose it has to do with anger and hate. There's no both sides here. There's no both siding this. A month and a week ago, a horrible, evil act of terrorism, Islamic terrorism, happened. 1,400 Israeli men, women, and children butchered, slaughtered, stabbed, burned to death, raped, beheaded, shot, killed. Over 200 men, women, and children kidnapped. I mean, think about it. Now a month and a week later, we know what happened on October 7th. One of history's most evil, brutal events, attacks. 1,400 people over a month ago were not just killed. They were terrorized. They were tortured. They were butchered. They were decapitated. They were sliced up. They were slaughtered. They were burned to death. They were beheaded. They were killed, and I'm making a point here. They were killed on October 7th. Men, women, and children. They were targeted, purposely targeted civilians and killed in some of the most brutal, unimaginable ways we've ever seen. And a month and a few days later, there have been angry protests all over the world against the country whose men, women, and children were butchered on October 7th. Think about that for a moment. Free country, America. Much of the world is a free world. You have a right to protest, demonstrate, and march. But they've been demonstrating, protesting, and marching against Israel with vitriol, anger, hate, hatred. Israel had this happen to them. There have been pro-Israel demonstrations and marches and gatherings all over the world as well. But no anger at these gatherings, no hate, no ugliness. I've been struck by that. The difference. I've been struck by, and more video yesterday on some of these college campuses, how hateful these pro-Palestinian resistance, pro-Hamas young protesters are as they come out and chant from the river to the sea. I mean, just vivid, visceral anger at Israel and hatred toward Israel. There was a screening last night in Los Angeles, a screening of the 47-minute compilation of Hamas's own words and Hamas's own video and Hamas's own actions on October 7th, all compiled by Israel into a 47-minute documentary of Hamas's own words. A screening in Los Angeles, and outside of the screening last night, again, a mob of angry pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, whatever, attacking people who went into the screening, attacking and shouting some of the ugliest things about Israel and Jews at these demonstrations, these pro-Palestinian demonstrations and protests around the world. Ugliness, anger, and hatred toward Jews. I haven't seen any demonstrations, protests, or marches around the world of pro-Israel sympathizers manifesting any anger or hatred toward Palestinians. It's all one-sided. All the anger, all the ugliness, all the violence, all the hate, all the violence. The elderly man in LA who was killed by a pro-Palestinian resistance protester. It's all on one side. I find that distinction really, really telling. Over a month ago, a country was attacked in a most brutal fashion. And in the last month or so, we've had anger, hatred, and violence expressed by people all over the world toward the country that was attacked on October 7th, toward the people, Jews, who were attacked. No anger, no hatred, no violence coming from the other side against the Palestinian people. That says so much. And it just continues to remind me that what's happening in the world right now, and Israel's on the front lines, is goodness, humanity, modernity against evil, hatred, against an ideology that would take us back to the Middle Ages. And it's all observed as we watch the two sides demonstrate, march, and protest since October 7th. I'm Joe Walsh. Thank you for listening. This is White Flag with Joe Walsh. My email, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. One word, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.